I'm Eugene Thomas, and I'm 86 years old, and I'd like to talk about the place where I'm from, and where I was born and raised, and how it was back then, and how much difference it is between then and now. And then I'd like to give some information to the young people that is studying history of Jackson. I can remember Olive Sharp Park. That stays in mind because it's in my upraising, where we live not too far from the park. Yeah, we had a 4-bedroom house on that lot. This is what the house set where the green grass is at. Yeah, and as you can see, we can see raising the cows from our window. Yeah, because me and Jesse stayed upstairs. Bedroom was upstairs and everything. We could see good. Yeah, and downstairs too. We always look out for things over there. Dogs sometimes attack the cows and run the cows and stuff like that. They're always close by where we can see what's happening with them. I remember that one time they had a calf, baby, and one of us noticed the baby, something around the cows down there. So Mama said, go out here and see what that is, and she knew what it was because she knew the cow was pregnant. She said, take the wagon with you. Yeah, I remember that. Take the wagon with you. She said, and bring the little calf up to the barn. The barn was down right over here, down. Yeah, so we were so excited about that. She had a baby calf born. Yeah,
she knew. It's like, bring that wagon, see how we get it.
Yeah, we put it in the wagon. Right on up to the barn.
Right.
Yeah, we live right down, we call it the mouth of the park in the back. Invite us into her home, give us instructions how maple syrup was made, and how candy was made, the peanut brittle. I remember her telling us about that. Apple cider. Got the elephant, I remember the elephants and the lions and tigers and black panthers and things like that, which today the young people couldn't imagine that could ever been there at one time. And when I talk to them, they indicate that. It's hard to believe, you know, that all those things was out there. Then we had a lot of things out there. And gradually they took on more things like the roundhouse on the hill. I remember when that was first built. Before then it was just land, mostly just land, unattended. But they cleaned all that land out, and they kept it all clean and everything, the grass cut and everything. And then they started adding on the roundhouse on the hill, where we used to go for picnics and stuff like that. And we were really glad that they did, because before there wasn't no shelter. But after the roundhouse, we had shelter in case it rained while we were visiting the park. And we always went in there and ate and visited with each other. And had a lot of fun. And after that, they had the music. They had musicians come out and play on that hill there. And but the big difference between, I look at the big difference between then and now. Now I notice there's no use of the park. I ain't nobody going out there other than just to play ball. And that's good though, when they're having ball games and like that. But just ain't as many people and families and stuff visiting the park anymore. And I think even in my generation, we have more going than the young people today. I was grazing in that land down the lower part of the park by South Street.
Yeah, but how many cows and pigs?
We had 2 cows at that, mostly 2 cows Mom and Dad raised. Then we would have hogs, at least 2 hogs a year that they raised. The traditional really, because I remember since I was a baby coming up, they always said that they raised it for the family because they didn't have no jobs or nothing, and they was trying to survive in the Depression. And that's where we was raise our food to eat. It was from raising chickens and pigs and cows. 2 cows a year for milk that they use like that to have food. And then some people give them a section of land to have a garden on Prospect Street. You know, that was right there on Prospect. The land was given to my dad because he had a big family to use to grow food and stuff on.
Who gave him the land?
Some people that owned that land, because he had a big family. They let him have a farm,
have a farm and raise
land to grow food. And that's really how we survived as a family back then.
This was like a rich family, or people you knew?
Yeah, they was pretty rich. We call them rich.
Yeah.
We had a lot of chicken. Hey, all the white folks know this on Wilson Street. We had a lot of chicken. We had 2 hogs a year. Most time it's 2 cows. Sometimes it's 1 cow. All depends on what happened. Yeah, and then they always, some of the time it's getting loose. Go all the way up to that there bridge. South Street. Yeah, people would tell us to stop pointing because they know that nobody had a cow around Jackson but us.
Except y'all.
So they know they was us. When they see us coming, they said, "You went that way. You went that way." I didn't have a chance at an education because we had to work to survive and help the family to survive. And my dad divorced my mother and I was 7 years old when we moved from Wilson Street to Russell Street. And we had it rough. But when I got old enough and strong enough, my mother pulled me out of school at 15 and I worked for the Junction, the railroad, New York Central Railroad, yeah. And when I was 15. And my brother was pulled out later. And
Which brother was that? That was BJ?
BJ, yeah. He was pulled out at the age of 14. When he reached 14, which he's about 3 years younger than I am. But things was real rough back then. Oh, a black family, we couldn't They couldn't get jobs, but they didn't have no white-collar jobs. We had nothing to relate to of becoming anything or worthwhile in the future of trade or anything until Roosevelt came into office. And he started the WPA, the CC camps and NYAs, and that really helped us survive better, the families. I remember Mom and Dad, they always had a thing going when they killed the hogs near wintertime. We would have one for ourselves and one for her sisters with their families. We always shared the crop that we had as we butchered them. That was the cows and the pigs and chickens, stuff like that. They would always, share what we had.
Now, that's a lot of sisters.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of sisters she had.
Yeah,
How
there
many?
was more family than she today.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took care of each other.
Grandma Nettie, your mother was one of like 8 or 9 siblings.
Yeah, there's 9.
9.
All I guess she had 8 sisters.
Yeah. So those are the ones that the family helped feed with the pigs when you
Yeah.
slaughtered them. So that's a lot of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
And
But she tried to share the meat,
yeah. That hog had to go a long ways.
Yeah,
them hogs.
half the meat. Yeah.
Kwenda mlima maji ni safi, damu ni maisha, tuishi tena. Kwenda mlima maji ni safi, damu ni maisha, tuishi tena.
Yeah, the North family is one of the oldest families in Jackson. And a lot of them say it's not, but I know for a fact it is, because the family that they say is biggest, and the oldest family is the Sissons. And the Sissons do not have as many in their family as the Norrises do.
And the oldest.
I said, I got 8 aunts, and all of them have from 10 to 15 kids apiece. So it'd be hard for me to say I know all my relations, because it's just too many of them to know them all.
We got one of the biggest families.
The biggest family, y'all. So I can say we are the biggest black family in Jackson. And my granddad, Green, Grandpa Green,
Yeah.
all he said, I always remember him, so he always saying, when we get at about going to the hospital or something, he said, no. He said, when I go to the hospital, I'll never return back home. And I remember him making that statement when I was a little boy. I mean, I had to be real small when he was living in where I know him. I had to be real young. But I remember him making that statement. He said, I never return home. He said, when I go to the hospital. It's funny how you up here in the 80s now, and I think of things back when I was 2, 3, or 4, or 5 years old.
You can remember.
That's hard to believe, ain't it?
Yeah.
And I remember things back then that I can't remember what happened yesterday or last week. If I ever go to the hospital, I'll never return back home. That's why I never like hospitals. I don't want to go to one. And he lived that to be true.
Yeah.
So one thing when he went, he didn't come back home. He died right there. He was old too. He was at an old age. Five girls and 6 boys.
Okay.
Anime and Flossie, Luella, Cornelia, and Gladys. And then the boys, it was Jolie Thomas, Henry Thomas, Jesse Thomas, myself, Eugene Thomas,